Hello, and welcome to House on the Pitch, where we dive into everything soccer, covering MLS and the international scene. I'm your host, Tom House, and today we have an exciting kickoff show for you. We'll recap the MLS Cup, talk about next summer's FIFA Club World Cup, explore San Diego's new club, and more. Got questions or thoughts? Email us at houseonthepitch@gmail.com. That's houseonthepitch@gmail.com. So grab your boots and let's take the field. What a night at Dignity Health Sports Park, one of the original soccer-specific stadiums in the U.S. A sold-out crowd brought the energy, flags flying, drums beating, and the distinct buzz of a championship game. LA Galaxy clinched their 6th MLS Cup title with a hard-fought 2-1 victory over the New York Red Bulls, marking their first championship in over a decade, actually exactly 10 years since their last championship. That makes it 6 for the MLS club. For a team that finished near the bottom just last year, this was nothing short of redemption. So what does it mean for LA Galaxy, and more broadly, what does it mean for the MLS? Well, I think the New York Times captured the night kind of perfectly, saying that it left a distinct feeling of the league's potential. Now, as the MLS gears up for its 30th season, it's clear the league is heading in the right direction. Owners have invested in world-class facilities and stadiums, and the question now is, who is next? Which global stars will join? To compete, MLS clubs need to continue spending big on marquee names while creating environments that attract top talent. The league isn't just about growing its fan base, it's about proving it can go toe-to-toe with the best leagues in the world. PSG, Madrid, Barcelona, Man City, Man United, and all the other big names that we know. For the Galaxy, however, now, it's just a night to remember. It's a comeback story, it's a historic trophy for the team, and a glimpse of what the future could hold for American soccer. One thing personally I always liked about the European leagues, and something that they have kind of over the US fan base for now, while the energy was electric, there's something the MLS is missing: songs. And no, I'm not talking about someone belting out Sweet Caroline in the 80th minute. I'm talking about the kind of chants and anthems European fans are really kind of known for. At Brentford, you'll hear Hey Jude, West Ham fans sing Forever Blowing Bubbles, and PSG has their iconic Allez Allez. The list goes on. It's like musical theater production every match. But here in the States, our traditions are really just kind of still evolving. American fans are more about hyping up individual players, rocking jerseys like I am, and of course, tailgating. One thing we do dominate, however, singing the national anthem. Maybe it's the pre-game tailgate, a little bit of the Liquid Courage, or maybe it's just that the Star Spangled Banner is a much better national anthem than all the sort of dull European national anthems. Let's be honest, most of theirs sound like something you'd hear in a DMV waiting room. Now, one notable moment, it happened a couple times, but Joseph Paintsil, who scored the opening goal for Galaxy, held up Ricky Puig's jersey in solidarity. You'll remember the star Galaxy midfielder missed the final because he had the torn ACL. But this act of camaraderie speaks volumes. It reminded everyone that soccer is more than just a paycheck. It's about team spirit, loyalty, and respect. What a better stage for this than the MLS Cup final in front of a roaring home crowd. So now we're officially in the off-season, and what's ahead? Well, mark your calendars for next summer because the FIFA Club World Cup is taking center stage. This event, hosted right here in the US, will serve as a prelude to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Think of it as the ultimate appetizer before the main course. From June 15th to July 13th, 32 of the world's best clubs will battle it out, and the tournament will culminate in the final on July 13th. The action will be spread across 12 venues, mostly on the East Coast, with LA and Seattle holding it down for the West. Some of the big names, obviously, Man City, Manchester City, Chelsea, Real Madrid, and PSG. From the US, we'll see Seattle Sounders, and Inter Miami represents MLS on the global stage. In a move that will make everyone happy, including yours truly, FIFA President Gianni Infantino announced that the entire tournament will be streaming for free. According to him, this will make it the most widely accessible club football tournament ever. Now, that's great. It'll be uniting the world, and if that doesn't, I don't know what will. So what does this all mean for MLS? How does MLS really stack up against the competition. Gianni Infantino called the participating U.S. clubs deserved participants in the tournament, a sentiment echoed by ESPN. But let's be real. While Seattle and Inter Miami are solid clubs, calling them world-class might be a stretch. Comparing them to the European titans like Real Madrid or Man City feels a little bit like comparing AAA baseball to the Yankees. That said, I can't help but feel conflicted about the U.S. representatives. Yes, Seattle and Inter Miami are qualified to be there. But are they the best choices to showcase the league? It's tempting to view Inter Miami's inclusion as a Messi-driven marketing move, a surefire way to grab views and headlines. But this tournament is about more than putting Messi on a pedestal. It's an opportunity for the MLS to announce itself on the world stage. And that's really what's at stake here, in my opinion. If I were picking teams purely for competitive reasons, I love to see Columbus, Cincinnati, or even LA Galaxy in the mix. These teams have shown they can perform at a high level and might have the depth to make a strong showing. While the Sounders and Inter Miami are undoubtedly quality teams, this feels like a moment when we should send our absolute best to prove that MLS clubs can stand shoulder to shoulder with the Europeans' elite. Now, outside of that, one of the juiciest potential storylines is Lionel Messi facing off against his former club, PSG, Paris Saint-Germain. Imagine the drama. Messi, now the star of Inter Miami, taking down the Parisian Giants on home soil. It's almost Brady-esque, I think. Remember Tom Brady leaving New England, going to Tampa Bay and winning the Super Bowl and redefining his legacy. If Messi pulls this off, it could be a defining moment, not just for Inter Miami, but also for MLS as a whole. So the stakes are high here in this tournament. This tournament is more than just a summer event. It's a litmus test for how far MLS has come and how far it still needs to go. It's also a chance to grow the sport in a country where soccer is still carving out its place. And that's really the key here. It's carving out its place on the world stage, competing with the European clubs and some of the other South American clubs. There's a lot of potential for MLS to really set the standard and hold the line and show that they belong in the elite group of football clubs across the globe. It's also a chance to grow the sport in a country where soccer is still carving out its place. The question is, can MLS seize the moment? Success could push the league into the global spotlight. Failure, however, might keep it in the shadows. But if Seattle and Inter Miami represent the league well, this could be a landmark moment for MLS. Either way, we're in for a thrilling month of soccer this summer. One other bit of exciting news is San Diego FC, the newest expansion club in the MLS. Continuing from our discussion on MLS growth itself, let's shift our focus to the league's exciting new addition, San Diego FC. This brand new club is the latest example of the league's expansion momentum, marking a significant milestone as the 15th team in the Western Conference and the 30th team overall in the MLS. So San Diego FC is now partially owned by Egyptian billionaire Mohamed Mansour, a dual citizen. He's a dual citizen of Egypt and the UK. Mansour is no stranger to major investment, boasting a portfolio that includes Caterpillar equipment. His entry into MLS signals growing international interest in the league's potential. That's what we can see here. And his financial backing ensures that San Diego FC will have the resources to make a huge splash in its debut season. So what does this mean for building up a competitive roster? Brand new team. How are they going to get this off the ground? One of the unique aspects of starting a new club in the MLS is the expansion draft. So for San Diego, this means that they will have a chance to carefully curate their own squad by selecting players from existing MLS rosters. Seems kind of unfair if you're an existing MLS club. Yes, they're going to poach players from other teams, but there are some restrictions. I'll kind of go over that here in a second. And here's kind of how it works. So currently, MLS teams can protect up to 12 players. So if you're, say, Columbus Crew, you can save 12 of your players. They're off limits. San Diego can then select up to 5 players, but no more than 1 player per team. So they get 5 freebies. And if any team is losing a player, that team receives $50,000 in allocation money. Not a huge consolation, but a necessary part of league parity. This system ensures San Diego has a solid foundation, but it also means established clubs face the possibility of losing talented, unprotected players. For some teams, this creates strategic dilemmas about who to shield. So what are some of the potential big signings? Well, one name that stands out is Kevin De Bruyne from Manchester City. Widely regarded as one of the best midfielders of the last decade, De Bruyne has been a linchpin in Pep Guardiola's system and an absolute maestro in the Premier League. His set-piece delivery and vision are unmatched, and at 33 years old, he's got plenty of gas left in the tank. Some might see the move to MLS as a step down or a sign of impending retirement. But let's be real, Southern California's sunny beaches are a tempting lifestyle upgrade over Manchester City's rainy skies. Reports also suggest that De Bruyne and his family are intrigued by the idea of moving to the U.S., and San Diego's ambitious project might be the perfect fit. The club has already made waves acquiring Hirving Lozano, affectionately known as Chucky Lozano, from PSV Eindhoven. With Lozano's pace and flair off the wing, pairing him with a player like De Bruyne, someone of De Bruyne's caliber, could make San Diego FC a formidable force right out of the gate. And continuing with San Diego FC and what they're kind of starting to build out for this next season, there's the youth development and community impact. So another standout feature of San Diego FC is its youth academy. Unlike the traditional pay-to-play model, which has long been criticized for limiting access to talented players from underserved communities, San Diego Academy will offer free training programs for middle and high school aged kids. This academy, valued at a staggering $150 million, will span nearly 30 acres, 28 total, and include state-of-the-art facilities like dining halls, dormitories, training centers, and of course, soccer fields. What's particularly notable about this is its cross-border approach, drawing talent from both U.S. and Mexican communities. This initiative not only develops future stars, but also strengthens the club's connection to San Diego's diverse cultural landscape. And finally, where are they going to play? Well, the home stadium will be Snapdragon Stadium. So, San Diego FC will play its home matches at Snapdragon Stadium, a 35,000 venue already familiar to soccer fans at home of the San Diego Wave FC from the NWSL and the San Diego State Aztec football team. The stadium's design and capacity make it an ideal venue for MLS matches, and the club's first home game is on March 1st, which promises to be an unforgettable debut. And my opinion here is it's more than just another team. San Diego FC represents more than just another expansion. As a statement of intent for the MLS, really. The league's ability to attract global stars like Lozano and possibly De Bruyne underscores its growing reputation. The club's innovative model, the academy model, and the commitment to community engagement sets a new standard for the future of the expanding teams. But the stakes are high. San Diego FC isn't just joining MLS, it's joining at a time when the league is gaining international attention. The challenge will be proving that the club can be competitive while also living up to the hype off the pitch. Now, with all these pieces in place, a billionaire owner, we have a potential star power, we have a focus on youth development, San Diego FC could quickly become one of the best leagues and most exciting teams in the league. Now let's head into our next segment, Across the Pond. The latest happenings from across the pond where European soccer continues to deliver excitement, surprises, and in some cases, controversy. Round 6 of 8 in the Champions League group stage wrapped up on December 11th, setting the stage for a high-stakes return after the winter break, January 2025. Now, the tournament is really heating up, with heavyweights like Liverpool, Barcelona, and Arsenal leading the pack. But it's not smooth sailing for everyone. Both PSG and the two Red Bull clubs, Leipzig and Salzburg, are on the brink of elimination, facing the pressure of staying in contention. But perhaps the biggest shocker came from Juventus, who bested reigning European champions Manchester City in a 2-0 victory at the Allianz Stadium in Turin. This loss has placed additional scrutiny on Pep Guardiola's side, who now face a tough road ahead with matches against PSG and Club Brugge next month. Man City is still a top 4 team in the Premier League, but they've struggled to carry that dominance into the Champions League this season. Guardiola, after the Juventus defeat, insisted his team played well but acknowledged their difficulty in finding consistent success on Europe's big stage. Looking at their next opponents now, it's a mixed bag, let's be honest. PSG has their own ups and downs. They're dominant in their league in League One, but they have been shaky in the Champions League. Club Brugge has performed reasonably well, both in their domestic Belgian league and the Champions League. So now, Man City must secure wins in these matches to avoid an early exit. But given their recent struggles, including those losses at Bournemouth, Brighton, and Spurs, along with a narrow win over bottom-of-the-table Southampton, there's reason for concern. So we got some big names on the brink. City isn't the only major club in danger. Both Real Madrid and PSG are uncomfortably close to elimination. To recap how this stage works, the top 8 teams in points from the group stage automatically advance to the round of 16. Teams ranked 9th through 24th will compete in a playoff to secure the remaining 8 spots, while the bottom 12 teams are eliminated outright. This setup ensures intense competition, but it also means that even the biggest names can fall short if they falter at critical moments. But going back to Man City, let's talk about the elephant in the room for a minute with Manchester City. The staggering 115 financial charges brought against the club by the Premier League in February 2023. Now, while many of these charges, like breaches of sustainability and their financial fair play rule, sound like corporate drama rather than soccer scandal, there's one that stands out. This one's the most interesting one to me, kind of comical. 35 counts of failing to cooperate with investigations since 2018. Man City has denied all allegations, typical, but their refusal to cooperate raises questions. It doesn't help their case that these charges span nearly a decade of alleged misconduct. And what does this mean for the team's future? In the short term, a significant consequence looms, a potential inability to sign new players. This could have massive implications for Manchester City. Top players may hesitate to join a club under financial scrutiny. And 2, without the ability to recruit fresh talent, City risks losing the competitive edge in both domestic and international competitions. Guardiola's squad is still loaded with talent, no doubt, but cracks are starting to show. For a team that has enjoyed unprecedented success, the pressure is mounting, and it's not just about winning games. Now here's an idea for Manchester City. I think this is a great one. Man City stars worried about the club's future. Come on over to the MLS. We might not have the history of the Premier League, but we've got sunny skies, passionate fans, and so far, a clean slate when it comes to financial scandals. So, for any player listening, doors open, and the MLS is ready to make the jump to the good side. As the Championship League returns in January, all eyes will be on the final 2 rounds of the group stage. Can Man City turn things around? Will PSG and Real Madrid avoid disaster? As the Championship League returns in January, all eyes will be on the final 2 rounds of the group stage. Can Man City turn things around? Will PSG and Real Madrid avoid disaster? And who will claim those coveted playoff spots? This next phase of the tournament will shape the narrative for the rest of the season, and it's clear we're in for plenty of drama. So some closing thoughts on this. The Champions League remains one of the most exciting competitions in soccer, showcasing the best clubs in the world. While teams like Liverpool, Barcelona are thriving, others like Manchester City are facing significant challenges, both on and off the field. For fans of European soccer, the next few months promise to be a roller coaster. And for the MLS, these struggles across the pond could present opportunities to attract top talent and prove that the league is ready to compete on a global stage. Now let's wrap up with our final segment, Off the Pitch. And as we wrap up today's episode, let's take a step away from soccer and look at something equally global, ambitious, and future-focused, SpaceX. This past week, SpaceX achieved another milestone in its mission to make space exploration not just a frontier for governments, but for humanity as a whole. With its latest Starship launch, arguably the most advanced spacecraft ever built, SpaceX is once again proving that the sky is no longer the limit. This mission isn't just about reaching space, it's about enabling a future where humans live and work on other planets. Now you might think, and you might be wondering, as I have, what does that have to do with soccer? Let me connect the dots real quick. Soccer, much like SpaceX, is about global reach and community. Just as SpaceX envisions a future where people from all corners of the earth participate in space exploration, MLS is striving to make its mark as a truly global league. This ambition to grow and innovate mirrors the pioneering spirit of SpaceX. For example, SpaceX's Starlink satellite network is already reshaping global connectivity. Imagine a future where even the most remote corners of the world have access to high-speed internet. That connectivity could mean more soccer matches streamed live for fans in undeserved regions, expanding MLS's reach in ways we can only dream of today. Soccer, after all, thrives on connection between players, fans, and communities. Another parallel is ambition. MLS is still young in the world of soccer, much like SpaceX in the aerospace industry. But both are proving that you don't have to be the oldest or the most established to dream big. SpaceX talks about taking humanity to Mars. MLS talks about becoming one of the top leagues in the world. Neither is content with the status quo, and that drive for more is inspiring. Finally, let's think about the future. Just as the MLS academies are grooming the stars for tomorrow, SpaceX is paving the way for future generations of explorers. It's a reminder that the work we do today whether on the pitch or in the stars, lays the groundwork for what comes next. In soccer and space, the story is the same. Bold ideas, relentless innovation, and the belief that there's always more to achieve. And just like we cheer for MLS teams pushing the boundaries on the field, we can admire SpaceX, at least, for pushing the boundaries of what's possible. So, as you tune into the latest MLS match or read about SpaceX's achievement, remember that both are part of a larger story. One ambition, connection, and relentless push towards a better future. Thanks for tuning in to House on the Pitch. I'm Tom House, and it's been a pleasure sharing today's updates with you. If you have thoughts, questions, or topics you'd like to cover, feel free to reach out at houseonthepitch@gmail.com. That's houseonthepitch@gmail.com. Until next time, keep your boots ready and your eyes on the pitch. Take care.